The Philadelphia Phillies starting rotation as a whole has been the MVP of this season so far, and they're going to be getting a familiar face back into that already dominant rotation this weekend. We're going to get into all of that today, what this means for the rotation, who's out, who may get the short end of the stick on the roster, and what player is coming back. I think you all know by now, but before we get to that player, I do want to remind you guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Just 35% of our viewers that are watching our videos have subscribed. We want to get that top number down and the bottom number up. Myself and Sean Bernard are uploading at least one video every day of the week for you guys here on Phillies Digest, and this is the only place to be for all Phillies content on YouTube. Yes, I think you could have already guessed by now, Ranger Suarez will return to the Phillies rotation this weekend, Rob Thomson announced after Wednesday night's game. This is how the weekend rotation will shake out. Taijuan Walker will go in about an hour and a half tonight in the series finale versus the Nationals, as the Phillies are looking for the sweep against their division rival. Jesus Luzardo will go Friday. Obviously, the biggest acquisition for the Phillies this offseason, has had a really nice start to the year. Aaron Nola will go Saturday against the Diamondbacks. Nola got off to a rough start, but I thought his last few starts looked a lot better than the first few, especially his start in Chicago. He absolutely dominated the Cubs that night. That was easily the best Nola start of the season. And then Ranger Suarez, the lefty, will make his 2025 MLB debut in the series finale versus the Diamondbacks on Sunday. With that means that a sort of roster move will have to be made. Ranger Suarez is obviously on the 40-man roster. He is currently on the 15-day IL, so he will be reinstated from the IL, which means somebody on the 26-man roster is going to have to be either optioned to AAA or designated for assignment. Rob Thomson spoke after Wednesday night's game, and a lot of it was about sort of the guys that have been in the bullpen, some low leverage guys, some names like Tanner Banks, Carlos Hernandez, Jose Ruiz. Each of them had a really, really good game on Wednesday. 4 shutout innings, 4 hitless innings from those 3 combined versus the Nationals. All 3 of those guys pitched great tonight. Unfortunately, it is almost a lock that one of those 3 guys will probably lose their spot on the 26-man roster once Suarez returns this weekend. I will say Tanner Banks is the only one that has an option remaining, but I think the Phillies like having Banks as another lefty out of the bullpen. He got up to like 95 the other night, or on Wednesday night. He was like painting the outside corner 95. He looked really, really solid Wednesday night. Granted, I know it is the Nationals, but Banks has started to look pretty good the last few outings. His ERA is now under 3.3. He's had a pretty nice start to his season. Carlos Hernandez, I think, gets the short end of the stick here. Hernandez was sort of brought in off of waivers from the Kansas City Royals. He throws gas. His issue has just been he can't locate the ball. Wednesday night, he located the ball really well. If you go and look at Hernandez's games this year, when he locates the ball, he's practically unhittable. He has really, really good stuff. His fastball has a ton of bite on it. His off speed is really, really good. But it's just right now he can't really locate the ball. So I do believe that he is going to get the short end of the stick there. I could be wrong. It could be I don't expect it to be Jose Ruiz. They could try and save Carlos Hernandez by using Tanner Banks as option for a little bit. But I think it's going to be between Banks or Hernandez. Suarez was asked today by reporters. I was not down there today, or I will not be down there this weekend. I am headed down the shore for a little vacation this weekend, which will be nice. But Suarez was asked today ahead of this game tonight by reporters if a potential move to the bullpen could be in Suarez's future with the Phillies. Obviously, right now, Taijuan Walker has had a really nice start to his season. His ERA is under 3. He's looked miles and miles better than he did last year. Obviously, Ranger Suarez is a better pitcher than Taijuan Walker, but Taijuan Walker's stuff doesn't really work out of the bullpen. He doesn't have reliever stuff. He doesn't have like dominant strikeout stuff. And that's what he's going to be. He's probably going to be treated as a long man in the bullpen. Maybe a piggyback with Suarez in some sort of ways until Suarez is fully back. Suarez will be on around an 80 pitch count on Sunday. But yeah, so Suarez was asked today if there was any interest in him moving back to the bullpen, and I thought his answer was interesting. So this is from Tim Kelly of On Pattison. He said Suarez was asked Thursday what he would think if the Phillies approached him later this year and asked him to pitch out of the bullpen. He said, obviously, it's going to depend on the context. Suarez said through an interpreter. That's a tough one. I obviously want to be in the rotation all the time. He said, I want to be a starter, but if it's for the team's sake, if it's to win something, if it's to get to the World Series, then I'm willing to do anything. And I thought that was interesting. But at the same time, I think when you watch the video of it, and I can't unfortunately pull this video up today, but there is a video of it if you want to go see on Twitter. Suarez sort of hesitated before he gave that answer because I think he didn't, want to say the wrong thing. He put a lot of thought into that answer, and I thought that was just a little interesting bit. So Suarez has been good in the minor leagues so far this year. He's made 4 starts, 16.2 total innings, just a 1.08 ERA with 24 strikeouts and a .9 WHIP. This is just going to be a massive, massive get back for the Phillies rotation. Obviously, this year you've gotten from Luzardo already. Zack Wheeler looks like Zack Wheeler. Christopher Sanchez, even though obviously he's still battling, or not battling, he's healthy, but he's coming back from that forearm scare from about a week and a half ago. He looked solid, I would say, on Tuesday night. I wouldn't say he looked great, but I would say he looked solid. I think that was just knocking a little bit of rust off. That's also what Rob Thomson and the Phillies staff thought. So I don't really think there's any issues there with Sanchez. But we know what Sanchez gives you. We know what Luzardo gives you. We know what Wheeler gives you. Nola, obviously, the rough start, but just a workhorse. I was never worried about Aaron Nola. I know that it takes time for him, and what he showed on Sunday Night Baseball versus a really good Cubs team, and specifically a really good Cubs offense, I think Nola's back. And now to add Ranger Suarez into that mix, the Phillies are obviously probably going to add Andrew Painter to the rotation this summer, and I think that's where that Ranger Suarez to the bullpen possibly comes into play. The Phillies don't want to go to a 6-man rotation. Zack Wheeler doesn't like 6-man rotations. It sort of throws him out of his, way that he goes about things. But, if they have to do it for the greater of the team, I think it's on the table. But I don't really think anyone on the Phillies would prefer to go to that 6-man. So I think that's sort of where the bullpen thing gets brought up for Ranger. So Ranger, once again, will go this weekend on Sunday. Ranger goes Sunday. Sorry, give me 1 second to pull this up. I don't know why this is continuing to come up. There we go. Ranger Suarez will return to the Phillies rotation this weekend. Taijuan Walker tonight to close out the National Series to kick off the Diamondbacks home series this weekend. Jesus Luzardo on Friday, Aaron Nola Saturday, and Sunday, Ranger Suarez. Are you guys excited? I am excited to see Ranger back in the rotation. I cannot wait. If you've gotten this far, I want you to predict Ranger Suarez's stat line. If you predict it exactly on the dot, we will give something away on this channel. I don't know exactly what yet, but I will give something away to you guys. I appreciate you guys getting this far in the video. Once again, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. This has been the newest episode of Phillies Digest. My name is Luke Arcaini, and I will see you guys next time.